The easiest way to win most of your games in solo queue is prioritize defense. So what do I mean by defense? If you're playing hardpoint, always play for good spawns and the hardpoint. Such as for P2, if we're playing for P2, you're going to want to make sure you're guaranteeing these spawns over here, and you definitely don't want to be spawning all the way out over here at bad spawns. And again, this will be for P2. Now, the reason why you always want to prioritize defense is because you make the game drastically easier for your teammates. Where I would say right now, since we're all solo queuing, a golden rule for rotating is rotate at 30 seconds. When you rotate at 30 seconds and you focused on new spawns, the benefit of this is, like, let's say you're spawning over here 30 seconds and then you rotate all the way around. By the time you get to this spawn over here, it's going to be about 15 seconds. Chances are all of your teammates are just dying because they're at bad spawns, and then voila, they're now spawning at good spawns, and ideally we can get set up for P2. Now, another reason why defense makes the game so much easier for us is not only are we spawning close to the hard point, not only do we have good spawns, but now you have multiple places to sit, and the enemies always have to push you. So one thing we talked about for defense is your goal is to always have good spawns, good hardpoint, and make sure you have all 3 lanes covered. So we have our bottom lane, we have our middle lane, and then we have our top lane. Like that. So once you rotate and you get these good spawns for your teammates, you're going to want to basically start holding an entire lane by yourself. So you can literally sit here in this right lane. You have all of the right lane, you have spawns, and the best part about this is if the enemies push through front, you're here just to literally turn, look, and then boom, you can shoot all these enemies crossing to hardpoint. So this is a very important thing to always think about, is just make sure you fill in the 3 lanes. So if your teammates are in time, that's 1 lane covered. Usually your other teammate is like playing middle, and then finally you're going to have to just pick up that right lane just to guarantee that no one flanks you, no one flips spawns. Now, there's another advantage to this. Another advantage behind this is you can sit in several spots and you're always going to have the enemies guessing on where you are. So if you're sitting over here in the right lane, you can sit top steps, you can sit back forklift, you can sit on this green box, you can actually sit on this side and hold an off angle. And the whole point is you have 3 different spots where you can sit, and the enemies, they always have to push from one direction, and you know where they're coming from. And this is how you're going to allow your teammates in ranked play to actually win more gunfights. It's just because you're getting defense, you're allowing your teammates to find, several spots to sit in, and they know that the enemies are pushing them. Now, again, solo queue, knock on wood, hopefully your teammates win the gunfights. If they don't, I'm sorry. That's all I can say is I'm sorry. Just because that's all you have to do in Call of Duty is rotate 30 seconds, get good spawns, you're hard blocking spawns, you're filling in the lanes, and now your teammates are in every advantage possible to win this game. You just gotta make sure they win their gunfights, but knowing solo queue, this guy right here will probably just push out, die for no reason. This guy right here isn't snaking the head glitch, so he gets pushed, dies for no reason. And then this kind of like leaves you all the way out here, right? But the good news is your teammates are still going to just be spawning here, and at least you guys have an attempt to fight old time. Cool. Any questions on how to solo queue for hardpoint? Obviously, the priority is rotate at 30 seconds, get good spawns. That makes the game drastically easier for your teammates. Any questions about it?
None from me.
Excellent. No problem. Now, of course, again, by the way, like, let's just talk about a few hypothetical, hypothetical scenarios that might happen. So one scenario we already talked about is like, what if your teammates die? Obviously, your teammates are still going to spawn here. They can wrap back to time, and then you can shoot from top P2. And I would say, you you could absolutely play for this time. But once 30 seconds hits again, you should already start rotating and playing for new. Where like you would probably like push up, try to get kills on P2, try to help your teammates. Boom, we get these kills. Then you would just start pushing out. And maybe that takes you, you know, an extra 10 seconds. And now you're rotating at 20. An ideal scenario is what if your teammates are soaking up time and they win all their gunfights, right? So they win their gunfights. If there's 30 seconds, immediately you're just going to want to start pushing across, get to the 50-yard line. And the reason why you want to get to this 50-yard line at 30 seconds is because you can literally understand that these enemies are spawning over here. You hold this cut middle lane, and when they run across, boom, you get one dead. You probably get one shot, and then you probably kill the other guy. Or the other guy is rotating, right? And this is allowing your teammates to be in a 2v1. You also got damage down, and by the time you're pushing out, that one guy that you killed essentially will be spawning behind you. And then as you're rotating, every kill that we get, the enemies are going to start spawning over here. So rotating, just a quick way to make the game easier for everyone is whenever you're rotating, literally just stick on the edge of the map and rotate in a big circle. That's why it is called rotating, is because you're going in a big circle around the map. And every time you're doing this, your back is covered. All you have to focus on is, you know, what's middle or what's in front of you. So that is what you want to do at 30 seconds for every hard point. You start rotating, sticking to the edge like this, playing for good spawns. Okay, cool. All right, that was an extremely fast crash course on hardpoint in about 7 minutes. Does anyone have questions about that? All right.
Nope.
Cool. So now we're going to talk about S&D, but real quick, I just want to talk about control. I want to let you guys know control is literally a flip of a coin. You can drop 50 kills in control, but the second that you die and then your teammates go 3 down, you're more than likely losing a capture point or you're getting put into a spawn trap. Control is one of those game modes that rely a lot on coordination and teamwork. So I would say, you know, just do your best to win control. But at the end of the day, like, don't be sad if you lose, because control is literally a flip of a coin. One quick thing we could talk about for control is obviously look at the kill feed. So when you're playing control, the kill feed tells you if enemies are pushing you or if the enemies are off spawn. So what I mean by this is, like, let's say we got 3 dead. If we got 3 dead and we're attacking A, I would say you as a solo queue player should push up past A, because this is going to spawn all the enemies down here. Now, let's say, you know, it wasn't 3 dead and we died twice. So if we died twice, usually what you want to do is just literally pre-aim and wait, and these enemies are going to just be rushing at you because they're always trying to spawn trap. That's one thing that people always try to do in control, is they just fly at you and spawn trap. So if you're 2 to 3 dead, hold the pre-aim, wait for the enemies to push you. If you get 2 to 3 dead, try to push up past the objective so you force spawn the enemies in the opposite diagonal quadrant. That's like the few tips I would say for control, but again, like, I've lost so many more controls just based off of literally getting team wiped.
Felix posted a question on the chat, by the way.
Oh, lovely. I did not see that. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Oh, where did he post the question? Do you know?
It's it should be on the top right of, like, where you see the stream.
Top right.
Yeah, it's like on the voice chat.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. Hold on. Open chat. There we go. What the heck? Thank you for this. I had no idea about this. Awesome. One question for Hardpoint. What's the time span where rotating is preferred to another break in case the enemy team has hardpoint control? Current point. Is this also 30 seconds? That's a great question. So, I would say it depends hill by hill. So, like, talking about Hydro, pretty much always you're going to want to be rotating at 30 seconds. Like, every single hill, it's 30 seconds, rotate, because even when you're rotating, you know, let's say the enemies are still pushing old P4, you can literally just look across, get damage down on these guys crossing P4, and get them one shot, and then you can just cross over to, like, P5, right? And be rotated for P5. But now let's talk about, like, let's say we're trying to break P4, right? So if we're trying to break P4 and it's 30 seconds like this, and you just spawned up over here and it's 30 seconds, I would say you're kind of out of this play, because by the time you get close to Dome to break P4, you just wasted like 15 seconds, and these enemies are already going to be over here, right? So for breaking, I would say it varies hill by hill, where, like, even for this one, I would rotate at 30 seconds and play for P5. But, like, let's look for a hill where, like, you might have a favor in hitting it. Not Embassy. Hotel. Yeah, Hotel. Okay, so Hotel. Like, let's say for P4, so P3 to P4, right? So P3 to P4. Let's say for P4, you prefer spawning at bedroom and you prefer spawning at middle for P4, right? So if you're spawning up bottom parking garage and there's like 30 seconds left and like there's enemies still hitting towards P3, why not? Go hit P3 as well. Just go for it. Because no matter what, after these 30 seconds are up and you die, you're going to be spawning right back at where you prefer, and then you guys can at least try to break P4, right? And this is one of those scenarios where I would say, you could rotate at 15 seconds because you already have the ideal spawns. The only thing we don't have is the actual hard point for P4. But the reason why I was saying, like, always rotate at 30 seconds is just because in solo queue, no one rotates. Or no one rotates and actively plays for the spawns correctly. See, you're typing up another question. Or I just see you're typing. Thank you so much. Absolutely. By the way, Cyrus or Jason, right now you can actually chat. So if you right-click Tier 1 classes, so if you look at the chat and you right-click Tier 1 classes, there's a option that says Open Chat, and then you can like type in there if you want. Just letting you know. Okay, cool. So one thing that we're going to talk about is S&D, because S&D, you actually can carry a team in it. Now, it's harder in this game because everyone has sound EQ and you don't have dead silence. But when you do have those moments of dead silence, that's where you can make a lot of plays. Awesome. Thank you for typing right there, Cyrus. So for an S&D, is there an S&D map that you guys prefer looking at?
Embassy.
Embassy. Okay, cool. Embassy S&D. So, preparing for S&D. Once again, defense wins championships. Defense makes the game so much easier for you and your team. Now, when you play your defenses, I'd like to ask you guys right now, what does the enemy team almost always do on offense the very first round?
They full push B.
Exactly. And I mean, I've been playing ranked play this entire year, and I would say pretty much it's always been B. They just kind of always rush it. So with that information, when you're playing defense B in solo queue, again, if you can, try to coordinate and like tell one of your teammates, yo, one of you guys pull out a sub and rush orange with me. Because what can happen is you can literally have, you know, a sniper go top AC, you can have a player sitting Xbox, and then you and the other sub player can push through orange. And as you guys are pushing through orange, one person flies out right, one person flies out left. And when you guys are flying out like this, you guys are going to be able to just like hard counter those guys immediately on B. Now, this is solo queue, so what do we do if this guy just isn't listening to us, right? So this is where I would say you have to make a valiant effort to look at your minimap and bait your teammates. So what I mean by this is, like, let's say you're just camping in bottom orange, right? You're literally just camping there waiting, and they get bombed down. That sucks. It is what it is. So they get bombed down. This guy's probably sitting in this corner, and then this guy probably like backed up all the way over here, guy top here. They're probably in like a setup or something like this. So what you have to do is you have to look at your minimap and like wait for one of your teammates to make a play and like make them shoot. So what may happen is this guy starts shooting, and when this guy starts shooting, maybe you look at your minimap and you see this guy push up, and when you see this guy push up, that's when you're going to have two of your teammates shooting before you shoot. So that technically means all the enemies are going to be looking at your teammates. And this is where you're going to find that opportunity to make a play, where you're just going to fly out, look for the trade on bomb. You probably just run up close against this building. You peek wide, you get a two-piece, and then hopefully we can get the bomb defusal at that point. Which may not happen because you need one of these guys to kill this guy. You can't do everything by yourself. But the serious tip I can give for S&D is be the third person to like play a trade. Be the third person or be the fourth person to play a trade. So our first round will be counter B. And we already talked about this, right? We sit in here, we wait for our teammates to shoot. Once our teammates shoot, we fly out, we get these kills, and then we push up to this room right here, and then we look for the kills out here. And in the future, when you guys are playing S&D, you guys are going to do this strat, and it's not going to work the first time. It's probably not going to work the second time. It's probably not going to work the third time. And this is where you have to VOD review and figure out what can you fix to help you win more, right? So like one thing that we may learn in the future through VOD review is we may learn that we have to open up this door, throw a stun grenade right here, and then we can fly out, get that kill. And then when we push up over here, it's way better to lay down and take a challenge rather than challenge on the head glitch. And that's all about just literally rewatching your gameplay and fixing this strat until it's perfect. Cyrus just asked a question. Is that like using team for information, opponent's location? Yes, you could use your teammates for information based on where the opponents are as well. Yeah, so as you're camping inside of orange, as you're like seeing your teammates push up, like if you see this teammate pushing up middle, you know that nothing's middle. And you know that because he's pushing up middle, there's nothing here. Oh, let me get a better color. There's nothing here. There's probably nothing here. And there's probably nothing here. So that means this enemy is probably sitting in this close left corner right here. When you see your teammate going for this flank over here, you're going to be able to visualize, well, what the heck? He hasn't ran into any gunfights yet, so there's like no enemies here, but that means there's probably an enemy here, definitely an enemy up top, and that's how you would use your teammates to like clear out and figure out where enemies are sitting. Now, this fourth guy, I don't know where this fourth guy would be sitting, honestly. But yeah, so we have our counter B strat. Now, for offense, let's try to change it up a little bit. Because we talked about doing a hard counter at B, but now let's once again try to predict how people play like B defense, right? So I've seen people go back alley, I've seen people fly out of orange. I've seen people fly out of double palm. And then I usually see a person like Xbox. I run into this setup a lot on ranked play. I don't know if you guys do. So one thing I know about this setup is there's an opening. That opening is all the way out over here. So once again, you can try to communicate with your teammates. Yo, guys, just go A, right? If you just said, guys, go A, you have a 4v1, get bombed down on A, GG's. But again, it's solo queue. It's not that easy. So what you can then do is while your teammates are trying to make a play at B, right? So there's probably a guy up there, probably a guy right over here, and then maybe a guy, I don't know, trying to push up to sign. When you're over here, what you can do is you can literally throw a stun grenade and a grenade out of bathroom, hit this guy, and the second that you throw those grenades, rotate and challenge on this side over here. And the reason for this is when you throw all of these grenades, this enemy is going to stay so hyper-focused on you, bottom bathroom, probably top paper, that the second that you hit this flank, you should be able to get this kill. And once again, you're going to have to VOD review to try to perfect this, right? You may have to like VOD review and be like, oh shoot, next time let me throw the grenade 1 centimeter to the left of the window so it can actually hit him at the Xbox. Little things like that. But the second you get this kill, congratulations, you are now past the 50-yard line, and these enemies are going to be literally scared. They're going to be scared. And all you need to do is literally just take your time and have fun, right? Because the whole point is you did your job. All these enemies are going to be scared looking for you, and this should allow your teammates to like push up, get bombed down, and then play post-plant B. And once they get the bomb down, guess what? When they get the bomb down, all these guys are looking at the bomb now. Boom, you make your play, you get probably 2-3 more kills. All right. And then we can like call that one like counter A. And the whole point is like you can make an S&D strat. You can make 11 S&D strats if you really wanted to. But the whole purpose is you want to have at least 6 solid strats. 3 solid defense strats and 3 solid offense strats. Like one strat that works for me like a charm every single time, and I'll just share that with you guys right now. Let me get rid of this. There we go. So like now let's this is gonna be my last one for S&D, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But basically, we now are playing on defense again, and the enemies know that we sit in orange. So what they probably do is they're like, oh, okay, let's just, you know, double push out towards B again. One person holds orange, one person tries to play the back alley, one person looks top, and then one person watches the flank, right? So now they're hyper-focused on orange because that's where you were to make that play to win that defense. So once again, you can now kind of like premeditate what the opponents are doing, and you can do a fast strat. And this is my favorite one, where literally you rush up, you pop dead silence right here. So you pop dead silence right here. You jump through this window, pre-fire this door, and then once you do that, you can literally run up, go upstairs, boom, kill this guy, and then you would literally look and kill all these other guys. Guaranteed 3-piece. And this strat, what I call it is I call it bathroom defense. Or wait, bath rush D. Bath rush D. This is my favorite strat. I do this every single time I play Embassy S&D, and it works like a charm. And the best part about this is it works so damn well that I'm probably doing this exact same strat again around at round 7. And then, you know, maybe like round 9, you guys, or wait, never mind. It'll be like round 8, you guys can then do the counter A again. So ideally, what I'm just trying to show is if you have a game plan, you're going to be fine. You work on this game plan, eventually you're just going to be better prepared than any other enemy that you play against. And like I did for my VOD review, through VOD review, I figured out that popping Dead Silence right here is perfect because your Dead Silence runs out by the time you kill this guy. And if you kill this guy, you get your Dead Silence back. And then I also learned that I should always pre-fire this door right here because if there's an enemy in this hallway, usually my bullets hit him and I know he's there. And yeah, this strat right here works like a charm. Any questions about S&D and how to play it in solo queue? It's mostly just create a game plan, a strat where you go to counter the enemies, and you try to win. All right. If there are no questions, then to conclude up our class for today, I'm just going to play one solo game. And I'm going to just talk about what I'm thinking about throughout the entire process. And then we'll call it there. While we're playing this, if you guys do have any questions, please, write them up. And I'll be more than happy to answer them. But yeah, that basically concludes the class too. So if you guys want to leave now, you guys can too as well.
Ooh, is it gonna be Surge?
I wonder.
Ooh.
All right, cool. While we're loading into this, I just want to show this real quick, by the way, guys. You guys can also create game plans in Hardpoint as well. And this is what it looks like. So this is P1 for Hotel Hardpoint. Basically, at every spawn that you spawn up, if you spawn there at 60 seconds, you're hitting that blue route. If you spawn there at 30 seconds, you're hitting the yellow route. If you spawn there at 15, you're hitting the red route. The reason why I was taking forever to load right here into this game is because defense is pretty hard to play on the very start. So I'm just pulling out an AR. I'm just going to hold this middle cut. My teammates are going to play A. I have 3 people focused at A, but no one at B. I should pick up B because that guy was left lane. And, oh, there he is. Bummer. So right there, I saw that guy left side of that gate. He took a while to re-challenge. So to me, that tells me that he's trying to push through that left lane. Not only that, but none of my teammates went left lane, so we gave up a lane on defense. You don't want to do that. And that's why we're losing this round, is simply just because I didn't fill in the left lane. That's it. If I just went to the left lane, I would have killed both of those guys. Easy round win. But right now, that guy's past our 50-yard line, and he's literally getting a 3-piece on us. So my teammate is repositioning right now. He got 1 kill on one side of the map, and now he went on the complete opposite. So at this point, the enemy is not going to know where he is. And this is a coin toss, where either this enemy went A or he's going B. We hear him at A, we win this round. We got lucky. This is one of those round wins where we get lucky. Oh my gosh. We got really lucky. All right. So one thing I know about the enemy team is they have 2 submachine gun players that like to play aggressive. It's Yerp, and then I think the other guy was Core, who died immediately. So I'm going to predict that these guys are going to just rush A and try to get kills on us. So I'm going bottom to see if anyone pushes our front. Nothing pushed our front. Our teammate got a kill on trash can. That's 2 dead. I'm just going to push up. There's a guy in the back left. I'm going to do this hop up that you guys can use. Oh. There we go. And that's just to see if he was back there. But right now, looking at my minimap, we don't have our flank. So there's probably a guy flank right now. Okay. I now have flank. My teammate has middle. My teammate calls out both in the back and the spawn. My teammate has middle. And my teammate is doing all the work. I actually don't have to do anything, really. I want to point out, this guy got an easy 2-piece right here because he got past the 50-yard line and he's sitting in this corner right here. And because he's sitting in this corner, why would the enemies ever expect an enemy to be there, right? So he got like a nice, easy 2-piece. All right. My teammate should have trophies. So I'm going to go A right here, and I just want to show you guys one of my default rushes. So I get across, I do a hop up right here, and then I go up top, and usually there's a person right there, but there isn't. So I'm just looking middle, got one. And I hear another guy down here. I just don't see him. Just going to throw a stun grenade. Get inside, maybe. Uh-oh, my teammate just died up top. This guy just left. I'm going to pop dead silence because I hear these guys running around and I can make a play. Oh, dude, I heard those guys running around so much, and look at this COD timing. I thought I heard that guy, like, run directly under me. Tragic. But those guys actually did an excellent job. I do want to point out one thing. Those guys looked at the kill feed, understood that they didn't kill me off of A yet, so they're, like, playing for me to, like, push up. And I think a better play that I could have done right there is simply play my life and just wait for them to plant and play the 2v2. I could have just done that simple thing that makes this 1v2 so much easier. Alright, so for this next offense, one thing that I remember is there's a person who sits dumpster, and then there's a person who sits in the far back alley. So with that information, I don't think anyone's going to push up on us, and I can actually pull out an AR right here, and I can go for like a different challenge. Like I can do something different right here just because I'm countering them. And I'll just grab bomb just to get bombed down. So again, just gonna check, make sure no one's pushing us. That guy actually pushed us. Bummer. Wow, any push with an AR, that is so weird. All right, fair enough.
P1.
Last minute.
I also want to point out to everyone, like, the reason why I lost that gunfight, by the way, is because I stayed in the same place. Like, the second that he went behind cover, I had to guess. Is he going to challenge the window or the left doorway? I had to guess. What is he going to do? Well, for him, all he had to do was shoot me in the same spot. So the right thing I should have done right there is run away. Reposition. I see him push up. He gets behind cover. I quickly reposition. And you can either literally leave, go somewhere new, or you can just like lay down and hold a different angle. Which I didn't either, so that's why I died. And that's okay.
10 seconds remaining. Lost that round. Stand by for the next one.
All right. So now on this defense that I'm playing, I'm thinking about what the enemies did. they had one player push up onto the bomb site. That was the first guy I killed. And then the other two players were like playing in like their bottom or top. So I want to see if I can kind of get... Actually, no, I'm not going to get lucky. I'm not going to get lucky at all. I'm just going to do the same thing that worked. If it worked once, don't fix it. Just going to jump up here, actually. And our teammate disconnected. Great. It's an everyday thing. So right there, I'm just literally clearing out the building. And yeah, I was literally just clearing out the building. Cleared out the top. Mother trucker. This guy's gonna chase me. Thought he was. I'm gonna see if I can clutch this. So I'm gonna pop dead silence. Just gonna start going in a circle. I know there's a guy outer left. Oh, lost aim assist on that guy. I'm just repositioning right now, so this last guy should expect me to push out the front door. Oh, see? Right there?
Damn.
That last guy was expecting me to push out the front door. I literally juke him out, but this is sound EQ right here. Or actually, not even sound EQ. He just has good centering. That's good for him. But, I mean, that's kind of BS, though, that an AR wins that. Alright, aw. And the game's not over yet. One strat that I sometimes do, if they have, like, an enemy sniper, or if they're pushing up middle, I just literally stand right here and pull out the sniper, and... There's a guy down there. Alright, cool.
Ooh, almost.
Bummer, bummer. Alright, well... I guess that ends the class. Do you guys have any questions?
None from me.
Alright.
We've secured the bomb.
And I have the chat pulled up too, by the way. If Jason or Felix, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'm kind of just stuck in this game unless I can leave. Yeah, no.
Oh, good, thanks. I've worked out how to make my microphone work as well.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad.
It was on push to talk. Oh man.
All right. Well, I mean, I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Jason, Felix, Kuro. Yeah, no, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the class. I've got a couple of things to try tomorrow. So.
Of course, of course. Yeah, no. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have any other questions, just please message me. I'm always happy to help.